Hi, hello, and howdy. My name is Erin of Essentially Erin, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a split style test. You guys seem to really love these, where I do one half of my head in one direction and the other half in something different. So today we are going to talk about the ever-revolving conundrum of volume versus definition. It is every texture hair person's nightmare to have to choose. In reality, there are a ton of different ways that you can achieve both one or the other during your wash day. It's a combination of really like three core principles: styling techniques, product choices, and drying methods. Today, I'm only going to be going over styling techniques. If you guys want to see how you can achieve volume with the other two, as well as how you can use all three pieces in order to get volume on both sides of your hair, like, comment, subscribe below, let me know. This is something that I want to do kind of in like a 3 to 4 part series for you guys. So if it's something that you're interested in, great. If it's not, we'll trash the whole idea. So today, like I said, we're going to be focusing primarily on styling techniques. I'm going to have half of my hair dedicated to how I would style for volume and half dedicated to how I would style for definition. I am going to be using the exact same products on both sides of my head. I'm going to be using the exact same drying, diffusing technique on both sides of my head. I do have videos on that diffusing technique, which I will link above. This is going to be kind of just a breakdown of how you can do specific types of styling shifts in order to achieve more volume or more definition. I am going to be using a brush today in order to demonstrate this, but if you've been here on the channel for a while, then you know that I do not strictly follow the curly girl method. So the products and the methods that I'm using in this video aren't going to follow that method either. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump in. So today was clarifying day, so I used my Verb Reset shampoo, which I love. It's color safe, it's a deep cleanse, it helps kind of refresh your hair, gets rid of a lot of product buildup, but because I used a clarifier, it also meant that I had to use a deep conditioner. This helps put some of the moisture back into my hair, especially during the winter months. Right now, my house is insanely dry. I have to use eye drops all the time. Yes, I know I should buy a humidifier, I just haven't yet. So this is one of my all-time favorites. I have been using this deep conditioner since I started my natural hair journey. It smells amazing, it's really inexpensive. Absolutely love it, like can't recommend it enough. Now, like I said, we're gonna have half dedicated to volume, half dedicated to definition. As far as styling products go, because today was clarifying and deep conditioning day, we are going to use protein products in order for us to achieve that protein moisture balance. It's also important during the winter months. It's not just about moisture. So today I'm going to use a brand that I absolutely love. I'm going to use Flora & Curl, the Curl Activating Lotion, the Curl Defining Gel, and the Curl Volumizing Foam. We're gonna start with the definition side first, primarily because I do want this side to be significantly wetter than this side. This side we're gonna style still wet and not quite to the damp level of dryness, but it does need to be a little bit drier than our definition side in order for us to start achieving a little bit more volume. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, we split it up. Then I'm gonna add some water because it dried out a little while I was talking to you guys. Then we go in with the Curl Activating Lotion. Then we go in with the gel. Okay, so now that we have this and half of our products are in, we're going to go ahead and split this. And then you're going to, I've talked about this method in other videos. I very rarely use this personally, so full disclosure, I don't have the time to do this for every wash day, but I'm gonna show you guys how to do this because this is how I get the best definition. So you're going to do that. And that is how you can get some really good ringlets. And then we take the volumizing foam. Okay. So then we keep doing that over the rest of our head. You know what? I'm not gonna make you watch me do this because you just watched me do it once. So I'll come back whenever it's time to do the damp side. Okay, I lied. We haven't started on the damp side yet, but I wanted to show you how I would style these front pieces. So yeah, you can do a brush style, you can finger coil or finger roll them depending on, you know, your length. Because of my haircut video, I have some really random layers in here. So the ones that are long enough, to brush style, I'm gonna kind of section those together. And really anything that's not long enough is gonna naturally fall away on its own. Okay, so we have these and this hair here. So these I'm going to have to finger roll because they're just too short enough to get the brush under there. Okay, so that is the brush styled side for definition. I'm gonna let that air dry and set. And then we're going to get started on the damp, almost dry side over here. And we're gonna talk about volume. Pump, pump, pump the volume. Pump, pump, pump the volume. Pretty sure that's not how the song goes. Okay, so funny story, my worst nightmare. My phone ran out of space in the middle of recording this. So the bottom half of the damp side is already done for you guys, but I will still show you at the top because thankfully I recognized in time that it wasn't actually recording anything that I do. The camera that I want is about $1,000, so that's why I currently record on my phone, so it's running out of space. My bad. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do on the damp side is add a little water, not a lot. You don't want it to be soaking wet. You just want it to be a little bit more than dry. So you'll notice like it's not dripping. We're good. So you add your products, and when you add your products, you're going to add them from the mid shaft down only. You're gonna stay away from your roots. I would go through it again, but again, as I said earlier, these are protein heavy products, so I don't want to put too much on my hair, so I'm sorry, I won't show you how I demonstrate adding those, but I promise it's literally just from right here down, I smooth, keeping it right here. As far as brush techniques go, you're going to take this, and instead of going under, you're going to actually go sideways. And right when you get about here, you're going to take your other hand and you're going to split the hair and pinch. So your fingers stay tight and you follow this all the way to the end. Then you lift and you shake, which keeps this from like hugging to your head. I promise, I know it doesn't look like much now, but trust me, this works. You move on to the next section. Roll, so you're still using the hard side of the brush. Follow through with fingers, pinched, and pull. This front section, just because it's short, you don't really need to worry about that because there's not a lot of hair there. It'll just naturally split like that. Okay. And you go in with your curl volumizing foam. Now, unlike the other two products, this you actually do apply to your whole head because you want your roots to have some form of hold. That way it doesn't look like you just kind of like scrubbed it with a light socket. All right. So this is the definition side. This is the volume side. You can already see a decent difference between them in curl clump size. This is the roots for both sides. So I am going to go diffuse. I do have a video on how I diffuse. I'm going to use that method on both sides of my hair, so nothing is going to be different in the drying technique side. And then I'm going to also offload some of these videos to clear up some space, and I will show you guys the end results before we scrunch out the crunch. Okay, so we are dry. I diffused both sides exactly the same way as I would normally. You can obviously see a very big difference, and we haven't even started to scrunch out the crunch. Now again, this isn't to say that volume or definition, one is better than the other. This is all about how you want your hair to look after your wash day. So I'm gonna show you guys a close-up of each side, then we're gonna break the cast, and then we're gonna see what the final result is. So this is the volume side pre-cast. And this is the definition side pre-cast. Obviously, the biggest differences are going to be that we have very large clumps of hair over here, and we have a little bit more frizz over here. Again, neither one is good or bad, just pointing out the facts. After we scrunch out the crunch, this goes into that drying techniques video that I would do differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch out the crunch exactly as I would, regardless of whether or not I'm doing definition or volume styling. So it's going to be, you know, separating these curl clumps, fluffing the roots, using a pick, stuff like that. So I'm trying to do nothing different on each side aside from the way that I styled them before we blew dried out. All right. All right. So we're going to take our usual Verb Ghost oil. Okay, so we have broken out the cast and you can see the difference. So we still have really great definition over here. Good shine from the oil that I just put in it, solid amount of ringlets. Here we have definition, but there's definitely like more frizz. And you can tell like there's frizz on the underside, but it's significantly bigger size-wise than it is on this side. So like if you just look just size-wise different, like this side obviously has more volume, this side has more definition. Again, there are things that I could still do to this side to make it bigger and make it kind of match this, but I would likely get more frizz and I would lose some of this definition. So it very much does depend on how you want your hair to look after your wash day, and that's it. That is my styling techniques for definition versus volume review. If you guys liked this and you want a part 2 where I go over the different products that I would use for volume versus definition, or a part 3 where I go over the different drying techniques of volume versus definition, possibly even a part 4 where I talk about how to get volume and definition, please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know which side you prefer. Are you team definition? Are you team volume? Let me know. I am so excited to be creating content this year with you guys. Again, I am really sorry about the mishap where I didn't get to show you guys the majority of what I did on this side. However, I'm super excited for us to level up our content this year, for us to get closer to one another as a community, for us to connect as best we can in the middle of this crazy world that is constantly on fire. I'm so excited to help you guys take steps forward and get closer to essentially being yourself. I'll see you guys next time.